we're trafficking in rumor and idle thought. The Mets, of course, tonight, it's all a buzz on Twitter that maybe they're in on Carlos Gomez, and we'll see where that goes. But trade deadline, 4 p.m. on Friday. And for now, well, same cast of characters.
It was a tough night. Bizarre night, I guess, is the best way to put it.
I have never seen anything like the Wilmer Flores night at a ballpark before. I will probably never see it again in my career covering baseball.
There's all sorts of rumors going around, and multiple reports now are saying that the Mets are on the verge of reacquiring Carlos Gomez from the Milwaukee Brewers. Gomez for Wheeler and Flores.
We didn't actually agree to the trade until after the game had started.
So Wilmer Flores is being widely reported to have been traded to Milwaukee, and the word is that teams are reviewing medical records, but he's still in the game for the Mets.
So there was the issue of whether Wilmer was going to come out or stay in, and from my standpoint, had we taken him out, we would have played with 24 players for the rest of the game, which was essentially from the first or second inning on. And I probably should have anticipated, the details gradually emerging during the course of the game.
Again, starting to be reported on Twitter that this thing is done.
Everybody's on Twitter now. Everybody knows what's going on around the game, and that includes the fans.
I remember hearing fans in the outfield saying, hey, Wilmer Flores has been traded. And I'm like, what are we talking about? He's still on the field. What's going on here? And then there's buzz in the dugout about what potentially is going to happen and unfold.
Wilmer was still out there on the field, and Terry hadn't been notified that Wilmer had been traded. So, I think that was the first thing that was fishy.
And a nice big hand for Wilmer Flores as he comes to bat. Most of these fans know that Wilmer's about to get traded. And social media being such these days, everybody knows what the situation is. It's a little odd that Wilmer's still in the game, but the fans giving him a nice send-off here.
It was my third at bat against the Padres, and the fans they were on their feet and started cheering. So I didn't know what was going on.
Grounds went right at the shortstop, Amarista. And Flores retired 2 out. Well, if this is Wilmer Flores' last day as a Met, he has been a good soldier.
I got to the dugout, and nobody said a word to me. And I heard the fans saying that I was getting traded. They said, we'll miss you, Flores. Thank you for everything. And hearing that, it made me, it got me a little emotional when I heard that.
Oh, boy, what a shot. SNY just took a shot of Wilmer Flores in the field crying. So those tears rolling down Wilmer's cheeks were real.
In Wilmer's case, he joined the Mets when he was 16 years old. So that's the equivalent of what, about the 10th grade?
We've come up with him, and we love him. Flo is he's a kid. He's 22 years old, maybe just turned 23. And all he knew was the Mets. And so I think you just saw raw emotion from a real human being, which I think is a good reminder to all of us, myself included, that these are human beings playing this game. These are fathers, husbands, brothers.
What must be going through his mind? Remember, it was in 2008 as a 16-year-old that he was signed to come away from everything he knew in Venezuela and join these New York Mets. And he's got all of his friends here. And I'm sure it's dawning on him. He's got to start all over again now in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
All of us, front office, the team, the fans, had gone through that sort of emotional chapter with Wilmer. And the fact that the trade hadn't gone through in that sense, I think was probably a blessing. Okay, so rather than waiting for questions, I know there was a lot of speculation over the course of our game and about a possible trade. There is no trade.
All I know is what's been bandied about, that apparently the Mets didn't like the medical records on Carlos Gomez, and so, you know, you turn the page.
It was a surreal night, to say the least. One of the more bizarre nights that I've seen, and then, but more bizarre things would happen in the next couple of days, as you well know.